Hello. So I guess getting acquainted for our class in classroom behavior management. Just to start off, my name is Holden Bender. It's nice to meet you all, and I look forward to what we are doing this semester for the next 8 weeks. So I guess going along with the first question, my experience working with children in special needs. That being said, I have had the opportunity this year to be a first year teacher at Bryan Station High School. And I know there are some students that have IEPs, 504 plans, etc. And there is the need for accommodations in your classroom. So you're having to accommodate for these students, whether it be with extended time on tests or preferential seating in the room. Some students prefer to be closer to the teacher, or some might want to be away from others. Just depends on what disrupts the daily life of that student. Now, if we look at my knowledge of behavior intervention. So, going along with me being a first year teacher, you're never going to be a master, I don't believe, anybody in their first year, let alone even 5, 10 years down the road. So, I want to just go ahead and say in my first year, I've had a lot of trial and errors, as it were. Trial and error. I mean, they're my guinea pigs, so I get to see what works, what doesn't work. And in this particular year, I've learned if you make a statement or if you make a threat, you must follow through with that. Because if you do not, that consistency is key when addressing the students. If you don't, they will walk over you, or they know that you're not going to back your claim. You have to be firm and you have to be fair, but also they know that they're in school. Also, you have to learn about, how to intervene with positive behavior. So when you have students who are doing well, you always just treat them. In my room, I treat fair. I give what you give back. That's what I do. You get what you give back with me, and it seems to be working. It's firm but fair, and we go from there. And I'm still learning and learning from other teachers as I get the opportunity to observe classrooms. I see what they do, what works for them, and a lot of teachers like to have that consistency. And some teachers suggest at the beginning of a school year letting your students even pick the rules for the class, just to see. Okay? If we take a look at my comfort level using Excel to create a graph. So, I remember in my high school years, it's been almost 10 years now, we used Microsoft for everything. We used PowerPoint, we used Excel, we used Word, etc., etc. That being said, now it feels like, especially even in the education system, in college too, is going very Google based. And that might be just because of user friendliness, or that could be also just it's more accessible. But I will say my skill set with Excel has declined, but I will say more the Google products I'm more familiar with and understanding of how they work. Maybe it's just because of user friendliness, or because I just don't, I haven't used it as often as others do. Okay? And I guess just to share a little interesting fact about me, I am a history teacher. I love history. It's a huge fact about me. I'm obsessed with particular time eras, a lot with world history. I like to cover the Crusades. I like to talk about the fall of Rome. Like if we can get opportunity in our curriculum to even cover these topics, and I go so in depth with them that my students they know it to death. Like they when we take notes, I make sure we take notes, and that's probably a bad thing that I got to work on. But we have a great time, and I'm always about creating a visual learning environment. I think that history now needs to be more interactive, less notes. I mean, there should be notes, but there shouldn't be at the scale that there is. I think there needs to be more interaction among the students where they can get up out of their chairs and have a good time. But I hope I inspire them to enjoy history as much as I enjoy history. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I guess one little extra thing is I'm a huge movie buff. I love my movies like Marvel, Star Wars, etc. Just being familiar with pop culture, it's a huge thing as well. Alrighty, and that will conclude this presentation. Thank you so much for your time.